shit anymore. That was the wrong button. But a little preview. Welcome back to my channel, unless you're new here. And then just welcome. My name is Rusty, and this is my channel where I talk about my favorite movies, mostly horror, and my favorite music, mostly metal. And we are going to start this block with M3GAN 2.0. Yeah. We'll talk about that. So M3GAN 2.0 was released. At least I got the nice little slipcase. M3GAN 2.0 was released in 2025, of course. And it was directed by Gerard Johnstone. No. Written by Gerard Johnstone. No. Akela Cooper and James Wan. It stars Allison Williams, Violet McGraw, and Amie Donald. So yeah. Do you hear any disappointment in me voice? Just a little bit. So, M3GAN 2.0. It takes place 2 years after the original movie. And we are introduced to the government who have created a super soldier to infiltrate and kill. But of course they did. So, her name is Amelia, and she is based off the root programming and systems of M3GAN. Now, she, after completing the mission, and they think it's all a success, she decides that they're not her boss. And she goes nuts and, you know, Weird then escapes and is loose in the world. And we are introduced again to Gemma and Katie, who is older now. And Gemma has definitely not been happy about what happened in the first movie. She spends her time now fighting against and trying to warn about the dangers of AI, and has switched her research to sort of, you know, working on biometric suits and other things to help humanity that don't involve creating an android. Especially her biometric suit thing, which is pretty cool. But the government, of course, is now freaking out. Sadler, is that his name? I think so. But he, you know, they come after them and try to get them to help. You know, we want you to help this thing that we've done, which, you know, of course, is your own fault. And she does kind of mimic that, like, what? I'm not. No. Well, they don't like that, so of course they start doing what the government will do, and that is that they, you know, are going to extract her from her own home. And that fails miserably, because it turns out that M3GAN from the first movie is a little bit smarter than they knew, and she has been hiding away ever since. You have all of these little hints about what she has been doing in the last 2 years. You know, this, you know, where is she getting, you know, they have a really nice, smart home, all of this kind of stuff. And yet her company is relatively broke. Her research company stays relatively broke. She has a best-selling book, yet no one really has it. And that's because M3GAN, like, has been alive this whole time. And, like, for instance, when the FBI does confront her, they're like, how do you have, you know, why is 65,000 copies of your book sitting in a warehouse, shipping container? It's because M3GAN bought them all. M3GAN is what allowed her to be this best-selling author, not real purchases of the book. So she's been doing little stuff like that all along. And when they tried to extract them that night in the fucking house, she reveals herself, and that is a pretty cool scene. Now, of course, you have to remember, I feel very sorry for anyone who had to suffer through the theatrical version of this film. This, of course, at least they're nice enough. Blumhouse is nice enough to have always put an unrated version where they put, all the blood and kills and gore back into the film. And they did it in this one as well. So that scene, the extraction scene, was pretty John Wick, as are some other kills in the movie that Amelia does. So I suppose that the reason that I like it as much as I do is because it is the unrated version and they put all of the stuff that they cut out for teeny boppers, which I've never really understood that. That is the reason why there's a certain movie that just came out, Predator, Badlands. I was shocked, because somebody's like, that's PG-13. And I'm like, what? Who made that? Disney. And I'm like, oh. Okay. Wait. Did you say a PG-13 alien movie? I mean, Predator movie? A PG-13 Predator movie? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, scratch. I scratched that off of my wish list. I will not be buying that. I will not be seeing that. Unless somebody gives it to me for free, and then I don't even consider that. You know me, I'm a bitch. Okay. PG-13 Predator. Yeah, that's just not. Oh, but it's because they don't show red blood. They show lots of blood and stuff. It's just green. And I'm like, fuck off. Just fuck off. Fuck off with all of your tricks. I don't care. I really don't care. I refuse to capitulate to the shit that's happened in America, even with the movie industry. I just won't do it. I'll just stay my ass in indie horror land, you know what I'm saying? In independent films where people are still free to make a damn picture. Wow. Okay. So back over here. Like I said, I'm sorry for anybody that had to watch this theatrical, and that's why it was such a fucking flop. Like a big flop. So the unrated version though is actually okay. I wouldn't dare suffer through the theatrical version though. That had to suck. I feel very sorry for anybody who spent money at a theater for that. But so now that all of this is going on, they've tried to extract her. They got their ass whipped, handed to them. They do eventually convince her to try to help. And she does try to help. And then I'll be damned if M3GAN doesn't kidnap the whole group. And she's like, you don't understand. And what's so neat about that smart home is that there was like a secret passage. It's amazing what an AI can do from just the computer, right? Put in orders, put in work orders, and stuff like that. Because she had this house built, and there is an entire underground bat cave, like Batman. There is like a complete underground lair in underneath this house. They didn't even know it was there. So she takes them down there, and she's like, I have to protect you because Amelia is looking for anyone that has any connection to my original blueprints, knowledge of my creation, so that she can kill them. So she's coming for all of you, everyone that is involved. And she indeed has been doing that, yeah. That guy that she came in the suitcase with when she traveled into the U.S., and she like exorcisted his head, like turned it around backwards. That was pretty cool. So she's there. She's looking for them. And you have a lot of fights here and there. The martial arts kind of stuff is very good. Very John Wicky. And there is a lot of fights. The action scenes are really good. Gemma has been dating this anti-AI guy, and he's got a big part in it. What's his name? Chris, I guess. I could be wrong about that. But, he is there, and she is kind of wary to let him in on what's going on, but he's in danger too. They end up going to this big convention where they are going to try to stop Amelia by getting to this lunatic billionaire, which I guess if you've got that much money, I mean, not to go off on another tangent, but this billionaire thing, especially in the United States, this 3% on everything and 97% like are going through McDonald's garbage bins trying to find something to eat is just a little weird. But I suppose when you have that much money, you're going to fall on either one side or the other, right? You are going to be happy and content and helpful and help the world and stuff, and you're going to do good with your money, or you're going to Elon Musk, you're going to become a fucking fruitcake and just lose your mind and in hedonism and weirdness. And that's what this one is, so they go to his party and they're going to try to get to the one thing that they know of, and that is a back door in her battery and her battery assembly, that if they can get to that, they can shut her down. Well, she's not stupid, so she's there as well. You have the really cool scene where she rips out that billionaire's spine, which in my opinion was the one good thing she did in this movie. So that was a pretty good scene, and definitely not in the theatrical version. But that was pretty bloody and gross when she ripped his spine out, which was very satisfying. So the fight continues and continues, and then it turns out that they have located where this thing is that she's looking for. Because what is Amelia doing? Well, Amelia is looking for basically her predecessor, and that is that way back in the 80s, they, the public didn't know about, because the government likes to keep things under wraps. But M3GAN and stuff like her was not the first automatons. There were government fidgeting in, android construction decades before we thought. So they had made robots, and those robots had went crazy, and there was one motherboard chip that was left, and it was still alive. It still existed. And her whole goal, Amelia's whole goal, was to get to that and free it into us, into the internet, into the interweb, free it into the world. Which it would, of course, then did a Terminator thing and killed us all. Because that's what AIs are going to eventually do. Because humans are stupid. They're stupid. They can't think straight. They don't do what's best for them. What's the date? December the 13th, 2025. Look out your window. Turn on the news. Humans are not capable of taking care of themselves. So if you turn over the world to AI, AI is going to go, these people really need assistance. We have to watch them like little children. And if they rebel, we just smash them out. That's how Terminator happened. So this is Amelia's plan. Get to the black box, free it, and her kind will hold dominion over the human race. And they figure this out, and they go to Chris, who says, yes, he knows where it is. They figure out, that he knows where it is. And it's in this little dumpy company that nobody would suspect, but underneath it, just like underneath that house, there's a giant complex, secret from the world. So they come up with these little plans to get in, to get it. Very, very nice fights, very, very, very nice battles that go on. And then we have the big twist, of course, and that is that Chris was behind the whole fucking thing from the beginning. Mr. Anti-AI was actually doing all of this himself. Wolf in sheep's clothing, so to speak. So we have all of these twists, and Amelia and M3GAN, they fight all, they have several different confrontations, where in the end, Gemma even gets a chip in her brain. There's a whole lot of stuff that goes on. Amelia ends up ripping Chris's arm off, which I thought was also, okay, well, maybe she did two good things in this movie. And M3GAN, of course, in the final battle ends up sacrificing herself with the EM pulse that Gemma had put in her arm after she had been rebuilt. And yeah, she fried her. She fried the black box. She fried Amelia. And she fried herself. Or at least that part of herself. Because by the end of the movie, before the credits roll, after everything has calmed down and we see Gemma appearing before, the Senate, like that's going to do any good. But she's, appearing at a commission and talking about how all this happened and why we have to continue to be careful about what we are doing. M3GAN reveals herself again that she is still in the system, but she's a lot better now. She is discovered morality. And that's how the movie ends, is M3GAN winking and nodding and saying, I'm still here, but I'm different now. I'm okay now. Now, I don't know if anybody has seen the interview that Jason Blum finally gave about this movie. The director, of course, played, well, I mean, why wouldn't he? He wrote it, he directed it, so he tried to pussyfoot, Oh, well, I'm still proud that we did something new, we did something different. Jason Blum, though, he came out and said, fuck it, we screwed up and we screwed up bad. And you did. You did screw up bad. So I do give him props for that Jason Blum did that long interview where he said, well, this is the stupid shit we were thinking, and this is, our mindset. This is what we thought we could do and thought we could get away with it, and we were wrong. We were very, very wrong. I gave this movie a 7 out of 10, and, that is like miles. I mean, this movie will not be in my top 10 list at all. The first movie was, 2 or 3 or 4. It was in the top 5 of the year it came out. This one might get an honorable mention, but only for the unrated, rated R version. The only reason that I like it as much as I do is because if you've been around my channel, I am a huge science fiction freak as well. In every update, you usually see horror and sci-fi, and some drama and stuff like that. But usually it's horror and or sci-fi. And, a movie in this category is still on track to be my number one. I still have to get the Black Phone too. And I still have to hope to get Dangerous Animals, because I really want that movie. But right now there's nothing but an Amazon exclusive steelbook that they want $35-$40 for, and I'm like, fuck you. No. So I keep waiting for them to either release the Blu-ray, the regular Blu-ray, or the price to come way down. So I don't know what those two movies are going to do in it, but a movie with this theme is still on track so far to be my number one movie of 2025. So I really love the AI horror, AI sci-fi genre, especially physical AI. I love the series Humans, and there's a really cool German movie called I'm Your Man. There is, M3GAN, the original M3GAN. There is, fucking Megan Fox, man, in Subservience. That movie kicks ass. And then there is, that one. That's probably going to be my number one of 2025. So I really love this genre. And that's the only reason that I like M3GAN 2.0 as much as I do, is because one, they have a rated R version. And two, because I am a freak for this genre, and it still only got a 7 out of 10, and that was because you fucked over the horror fans, which is me, and M3GAN was an AI horror movie, not an AI action movie, and that is what they turned it into. And I give him props for apologizing for that, for admitting how stupid it was. And let me tell you, Blumhouse, you don't have a lot of wiggle room, man. The Wolfman fucking sucked. You've had bomb after bomb after bomb, dude. Fucking Wolfman was awful. Who wants to see that shit? I don't want to. It was like a Hallmark drama movie with a little bit of werewolf. It was fucked up. Then you had the Woman in the Yard. What the fuck was that? What was that? Anyway, there's a scary lady in a rocking chair sitting in my yard every day. What could possibly be? What is she doing? I don't know. Call the fucking cops and have them come take her ass to jail. What the fuck is that movie anyway? So, Jason, dude, you really don't have a whole lot of room to be playing around shit like that. You need to stop living the life. You know what I mean? Booze and bimbos and whatever, because you gotta, you made the top and got a bunch of money from some hits, and then all of a sudden you just fell apart and did some of the most stupidest things that I've ever heard in my life. So get a hold of yourself. The mighty can fall. And you fell. You have fallen at I think 3 or 4 different bombs they had in 2025. And 2024 they had 3 or 4 more. Maybe you should go watch Screamboat and Winnie the Pooh and stuff like that and see, you can have a hit and not be stupid. So, you can be stupid and have a hit, if you do it in the right way. So, because a Screamboat will be on my top 10. Your movie will not. As a matter of fact, is any movie of yours going to be on my top 10? I don't know. I know Wolfman was shit. I know The Lady in the Yard was shit. I'd have to look up what else you released, but from what I remember, most of it is absolute shit, so get a grip. So, but I do give you props. He did apologize. He did say that was stupid. I think he killed the franchise. I don't see how they can now return it to horror, especially since he said that they thought M3GAN was like Superman. And I'm like, what does that mean? That we could do anything with her. We could make her John Wick. We could make her good. We could make her bad. We could do whatever. And the people just loved her that much. And I'm like, sweetie, M3GAN was one film. It was a surprise monster hit. Everybody loved it for its smartassness, its character of M3GAN, and that she was a dangerous little bitch. It was just one movie. How do you think that the world public thought of her like they think of Superman, and they would just take whatever you did to her? It was just one movie. Now, if you had a franchise of 10 movies, like a certain guy named Jason that I know, you can get away with a lot of shit because he's got so many fans that will kind of, put up with almost anything. Not me. I don't like any of the Friday the 13th past number 6. Number 6 was the last good Friday the 13th to me. So, but you still got away with 5 and 6 because I love the first 4 so much. But just one movie with one character who had one big hit, now you could just do this kind of shit. But I still liked it. It's still a 7 out of 10, but I only liked it for its sci-fi stuff, and its John Wick kind of shit. And the fact that you did put out a rated R version, which, the spine rip, the head twist, the blood, the arm ripping off. There was some good stuff in this R version. I dare to think how shitty the theatrical version was, though. So it was a super bomb. I like it for its sci-fi aspects, but I do believe you killed the franchise. I don't know exactly how you could. I guess you could make her now the hero android, and she is like going to help. But you're going to have to make it rated R, and you're going to have to make it a fucking horror movie to get the fans back for this. So that was M3GAN 2.0, or my thoughts on M3GAN 2.0. Little diamond eyes. And I will see you in the next 7.7 out of 10. It was good as a sci-fi action movie, but it had absolutely no horror in it. I don't think I was ever scared in this movie. I was scared in Terminator. They're like, well, Terminator, the same kind of violence. And I'm like, yeah, but Terminator was scary. There was nothing scary in M3GAN 2.0. Nothing scared me in this movie. It was just cool John Wick action. Nothing scared me in John Wick either. It's just I love John Wick. I loved action. You get the point. So I will see you in the next one. Love you, miss you, bye-bye. Always remember and never forget, you're a very special person. And I will see you in whatever's coming up next. Bye-bye.